I'm Jezlan Moyet, and I am the host of EverTalk Live. This is a very special edition. Normally, of course, we're in the studio. Today, I am safer at home, as I hope you all are. And I have a great guest with me, Dr. Anna Guanche. She is a board-certified dermatologist. She is the author of 7 Days to Sexy. Of course, we have 30 Days to Sexy, so we'll pick her brain about that. And she's the founder of Bella Skin Institute in Calabasas. Anna.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you so much for being a part of my live stream today. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be a part of this. I love joining you guys, both of you. I always have such a great message for people to make them feel better and be uplifted. So I'm excited.
Thank you. I was just saying, the setting may have changed. Normally we get to see you in studio, but the mission is still the same, right? To live our most beautiful lives from the inside out. And I know, Dr. Anna, you have really, truly mastered that. And of course, I've been watching your Instagram. You look more glamorous than ever in quarantine. How are you doing that?
Well, just like everybody else, I have my days. And the first few days, then I was at home and I didn't put makeup on and I didn't get ready. And one day just kind of streams into the other one and you don't know what time it is. And I started feeling, or what day it is or what time it is, I started feeling listless, and I decided that just to get myself together, I was going to create a routine for myself just to have a wake up time, get ready, fix my hair, put my makeup on, get dressed, and then, all the things I do, the meditation and things that I do normally, I kind of started doing, and I felt a lot better, a lot more normal. Of course, your exercise routine, and try to keep things in a normal schedule so that you don't feel like you're just floating in this nondescript soup of what's going on, what time is it, and you lose yourself completely.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, because I think routine and ritual is so important. And also giving yourself the grace on days that you might miss that, on days where you say, you know what, I'm going to sleep in a little extra longer. I'm going to use the moment while the sun is shining to get in my daily walk outside and then come in, and just allowing yourself that grace, I think, is so important right now. You have a great book, 7 Days to Sexy, but now we have got at least 30 to really get ourselves ready to reemerge on the scene, our most sexy self. And I think one of my biggest concerns has been skincare, especially in these times. I know a lot of us aren't wearing makeup, or we're only wearing makeup for these Zoom calls or IG lives. So what kind of tips could you maybe share with us on skincare right now? Because a lot of people are having stress acne.
Yes. So right now is a great time for you to give your skin a rest, they call it. If you don't want to wear your makeup and that doesn't make you feel better like it does to me, then that's a great time to just let your skin rest. People are breaking out because of stress and anxiety, but also because they're wearing those masks. So a lot of people are complaining about breakouts along their jawline, just where it occludes the skin.
Me too.
Yeah. So, those areas, those are tricky areas because it's harder to clear up acne from that jawline area. That's also where adult women's acne likes to hang out. But what I recommend is that you use a toner, like a glycolic acid-based or salicylic acid-based toner in those areas, morning and night. Some people who are in healthcare wear masks all day long, and other people just need them to go out. So if you're not out, then you don't obviously have to wear your mask indoors in your own house. So give your face a break, of course. And you want to do at-home masks. You can do lemon-based masks. Lemon is in season right now.
Lemon?
Lemon is, all the lemon trees are loaded with lemon. So if you have one in your yard, or your neighbor has one, or you just, when you get one from the grocery store, lemon can be an active ingredient that you can use in a face mask. You can either smash up an avocado and squeeze half a lemon into it and maybe mix honey and do a 15-minute mask. Or you can just mix half a lemon that you squeeze out with honey and mix that together and apply it to your skin for 15 minutes.
That is a great idea. I never even heard of that.
Well, lemon has citric acid, which is an alpha hydroxy acid. So it will help micro-exfoliate the skin and also makes bacteria uncomfortable. So it's a nice option for DIY sort of acne treatment from something that you just already have at home. And it's nice to have little projects that you do at home and things that keep your mind occupied and keep you active.
Oh, absolutely. Because with this extra time, I have this new motto: product, don't pick, because I'm like so obsessed with my skin. And on the days where I'm not making or wearing makeup or making content, I want to let my skin breathe, but I'm seeing all these imperfections and all I want to do is DIY my own facial, which is not a great idea.
Don't do that. So I always tell people, please don't pick your face. Every time you pick a pimple, it lasts about 3-4 times longer and is more likely to scar than it would if you didn't pick it. But it's so tempting because they're so itchy and they're just inflamed, and you just think if you squeeze it, it'll just go away. That's what your mind thinks, but it just doesn't do it. It makes it worse. So I would say try to avoid picking it. If you just can't avoid it, then I usually say put a topical Visine, if you have it at home, 3 drops of Visine in a little bit of cream, and mix that together and dab it onto the pimple. It helps shrink down the inflammation and the swelling and redness in the pimple, and hopefully make it less tingly so you just won't want to constantly touch it. Sometimes we're touching it and we don't realize because it's just there. And
well, and the other thing, exactly, we're not supposed to touch our face right now, which is fantastic for all of us who are trying and obsessed. So next question. I've read a lot about still wearing SPF indoors. Apparently the windows don't block all of the damaging UVAs for our skin. I had given up my SPF.
Absolutely. I'm sitting by a window right now, a big one. Unless you have a special tint on your windows, you can get a lot of UV through them. The tint that blocks out almost all of it is pretty new. It's a 3M tint called Crystalline, and I don't know that most people have that on their houses. So I would say, in the morning, put your SPF on, and when you wash your face and everything. And the other thing that aids in is just making you feel like you're ready. There's a point in the morning where you got ready, you took your vitamins, you did your meditation or your yoga or whatever your ritual is. And if you're not going to put makeup on, at least if you apply like a serum and some SPF, then you feel ready for the day.
And so many of us are spending more time in front of our screens now more than ever. Is there any damage or hyperpigmentation that's being caused by the light that we're getting from our screens?
There is some evidence that certain lights that emit from the screen can stimulate pigments, but definitely not nearly as strong as UV light does. So if you wear a physical blocker, so something that's zinc oxide or titanium dioxide based, you're going to block out visible light and UV wavelengths. So you're going to be protected. And I have a couple of brands that I love that we carry here, but also over the counter, there's physical blockers that you can find that are micronized. So they're not too pasty and greasy and don't make you break out, but they also protect you against all types of lights. And a lot of people, don't forget, are going out in their backyard because they're dying to get out, or going for walks because it's just, you get stir crazy. And you have to remember when you go out to walk your dog, who's been walked 6 times today, that you reapply your sunscreen. And that if you're going to your backyard, if you have a pool or you're going to the pool in your area, that you wear sunscreen and you're careful to try to stay in the shade, not just wear sunscreen and lay in the sun, but hats, sun avoidance are very important for your skin. So it's one thing to wear sunscreen during the day with the light coming in the window and protecting yourself against that, but you could really mess up a lot worse if you just go for a 1 hour walk in UV light, without sunscreen.
I think hyperpigmentation is probably my biggest area of concern. For me, I wouldn't dream of doing a live without makeup on. And I wish I could, but I'm so self-conscious of how blotchy my skin is, not just from acne, but just, years of birth control and hormones and melasma. Is there anything I can do to help with the hyperpigmentation while I'm inside?
Well, first of all, your skin is gorgeous. I've seen you in person, and
thank you.
Beautiful skin. And I think one of the messages that I like to send is that we need to start appreciating what we have already. Your skin is gorgeous, but everybody has those things that bother them, and that's my job. People come in and tell me all the time what issues they have, and we just did a live today on melasma, which is very frustrating. It's a hormonal pigmentation that as soon as you go in the sun for just a few minutes gets triggered. So it's one of those things where you have to stay on it and be really diligent with topicals, retinoids, and maybe even bleaching agents at nighttime, and then SPF during the daytime. And if you're indoors more often than usual, you'll probably notice a little improvement in pigmentation, but not as much improvement in breakouts. So you kind of have to tailor your regimen to what's going on with your skin right now.
Oh. So what are the best ways to get a like tailored regimen while we're at home? Are you doing any virtual like consultations?
Yes.
Or
Yes, we're doing telemedicine. Actually, I've had telemedicine as an option for my patients for over 2 years, and I'm glad that it was already set up and ready to go. So on our website, bellaskininstitute.com, you just click on online visit, and then you can submit photos, tell us what your concerns are, and that way we have a whole history on you. We can even recommend prescription strength products, whereas otherwise you could only really advise you to take over-the-counter products, which just aren't as strong. So definitely people are taking advantage of telemedicine these days.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing too about you is not only are you so obviously stunningly beautiful, but you have such a beautiful soul and such a big heart. You know, what tips do you have on really fostering your own self-confidence and your self-worth in this time?
Well, I would say, like I said, the routine to keep yourself sort of on track, because the anxiety can really blow up after a while. I would say things that make you feel bad, avoid those things. So if you watch the news and you get upset, then I would say read the news. Just read it twice a day so you see. You don't want to be completely uninformed, but you don't want to be listening to this sort of really stressful sounding stuff all day long, because you got it in the morning and you got it in the afternoon. So then move on to something that's pleasant and positive, like you know, like an Instagram live with Jezlan, or you know, just try to refocus your attention onto a nice book that you'd love to read, or even a lot of people are watching shows, but you know, something that gets your mind off things, and focus on your pets that you love. And so these are the kind of things you want to get your mind sort of directed on as much as possible, so that you can feel less anxiety. And when it overwhelms you and you feel like you're just completely anxious, just remember that it comes in waves, and the next wave is, you know, it's going to subside, and you're going to have the better moments coming up soon. So you can kind of bridge from that really rough, anxious time to, you know, you're going to feel better in a few hours, and get yourself thinking you're going to feel better. And then all of a sudden you feel better. So that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. So.
Well, and when I'm experiencing those waves of panic, because I have those moments where I'm like, okay, I'm good. I got this. And then an hour later, I feel like a crazy woman. I'm looking out the window. I start totally panicking, and I'm using that panic time to feel like I'm doing something productive. So I think that would be a great time for people to make that avocado lemon mask and put it on their face, and, you know, utilize that time where we're just sitting here to take extra good care of ourselves. Because as I always say, self-care isn't a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. And the best way we're going to be able to take care of our community, take care of our families, our loved ones, our neighbors, this world, is if we take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking the one thing that does make me feel better is if you call the people that you love, or you do FaceTime or a Zoom group with some of the people that you love. I have 3 or 4 chats going on. I'm sure everyone does, right?
Right.
And then not only do you want to reach out to the people that are techie like that and are you know, proactive about making these Zoom groups, but what about our elderly? Like if you have your grandma, your great grandma, somebody's out there and they can't have visitors right now, call them once a day and just talk to them about anything, and they will be so grateful, and you'll feel great, because I really think that when you're taking care of somebody else, you can't worry as much about yourself. So it takes the focus off you and your anxiety, and gives you an opportunity to make someone else feel better, distract them and nurture them. And then also, if you have neighbors that are elderly, see if they need anything. Maybe you can drop off some food at their front doorstep. Maybe there's something you could do for them. You know, maybe they've got something going on in the backyard that they don't want to go outside and deal with. You know, and just the fact that you did it will make you feel better.
Absolutely. Or, you know, as you mentioned earlier, the teledoctor appointments, I think, are so important. And it is a time where we have to focus on what truly matters. And I know a lot of people don't want to make the investment maybe for cosmetic surgeries or cosmetics in general, but we do need to invest in our skin and our overall well-being and still support great businesses. I know you're based here in Calabasas in California, and we want to be able to support local businesses. You've got a team of great nurses and incredible staff. We want to do whatever we can to continue to support you and invest in those businesses as well.
Thank you so much. I love my Derm Dream Team. We are doing everything we can to make sure we keep our team together. This is something that's very stressful as a business owner, but I realize that other people have it much worse than we do. So, and if we can just stay positive, keep positive, and get through it, I think we're going to be okay. Panic is not your friend. So if you can just scale it back and put it in perspective as much as possible, I think we're all going to be fine, and we got to keep our team together. So some of the things we've been doing is talking about products, because we have an online store where people can order any of their skincare products they want. They can do a telemedicine visit, and they can get tailored skincare advice, because you can't really advise someone about their skin until you know how old they are, whether they're acne prone or not, whether they have pigmentation or rosacea or sensitive skin. If they're 20, they're going to need a different regimen than if they're 80. So when people ask me, and I get this question all the time, surprisingly, from a lot of journalists, and they ask me, like, what is the best cream out there? And I say, the best cream for who? Like, what's the best cream for you? Might be totally different than a 14-year-old girl who has breakouts, or an 85-year-old who sees wrinkles and sallow skin. So you really need to know the person and tailor the skincare to that person's needs.
What do you mean? My Instagram feed is not tailoring skincare products just for me? Because I keep getting marketed some very tempting things, especially in the night when I'm doing these scroll throughs. I'm like, oh, wow, how does it know exactly what I... No.
I buy a lot of stuff from those Instagram ads too. Mostly clothes. I would say mostly clothes. The skincare, I have that covered, but yes, it is tempting, right? But that person who's putting that ad out there on Instagram does not know what skin issues you have, how old you are, or maybe they know how old you are. It's scary. But, at some point, you need to have someone who's an expert really tell you what's best for your skin.
That is why I'm so grateful for you, and that you know my skin, you've seen it all, and it's naked glory.
You guys, she's stunning, gorgeous, perfection. Really?
Part of this is that the Bella Gold facial that I got from you. I think it was for the Oscars. I was getting red carpet ready, and we did this really great interview, and you were saying that was one of the best tips and tricks. And I will say this, my pores were just so tiny. It's like there's been a filter over my face. The skin texture is so much better. Overall, my skin's never looked better. It's still just that hyperpigmentation, a little bit of melasma that I'm dealing with. And then now these mask breakouts that I'm like, oh, I want to keep this gold filtered face the best I can. What can I do?
Well, as soon as it's time, you come see me, and I treat melasma all the time, and also those mask breakouts, all that stuff. So, but you guys, she has gorgeous skin. But everybody, honestly, when they look in the mirror, has like a little something or another that bothers them, and it's great if someone like me can help you not have that issue, so that you can unleash your confidence. So that's what the Bella Microgold is, one of our most popular procedures among celebrities and anyone, because it does perfect the skin. It gets rid of tiny fine lines and reduces pore size. It's tiny gold needles that are introducing neuromodulator and what we call hyaluronic acid. So we're hydrating the skin, and we're reducing tiny fine lines all at the same time, and also stimulating collagen. So it's something that celebrities love, because that's how they get red carpet ready. But I love to do it for brides and for, the mother of the bride, and anyone who's going anywhere who wants to look amazing. So,
yes, are coming out of shelter at home.
Yes. I wish I could do all the house calls and go do it on everybody.
Well, I hope the time will come, and it will come very soon. Please remind everyone where they can find Bella You and get their tailor-made products for their skincare that they need right now at home.
Oh, check us out at bellaskininstitute.com, and right on the homepage it says start an online visit. That's our telemedicine portal. Follow me at Anna Guanche MD, which is where you are right now, or at least I'm joining Jezlan's. And then also we have another one that's just for procedures, so you can just see procedures in action, and that's at Bella Skin Institute. So we'd love to see you there.
Thank you so much. I love you. Please stay safe, stay well, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. Take care. That was Dr. Anna Guanche. Thank you all so much for streaming, for supporting, for liking, sharing, commenting. I so greatly appreciate the community. I so greatly appreciate the conversation. And we at EverTalk TV know how much the conversation, the community matters, and we need more of what matters. Today's whole interview is going to be restreaming on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app. Remember, we're #EverTogether. I'll see you soon.